increasing amount of people seem to be taking to our streets. But are they being listened to? Our reporter Caroline Brocklebank is listening. She's in Hull city centre, where a number of protests have taken place recently.
Morning. And yeah, they have. Let's get away from Brexit for a change. Extinction Rebellion, you've probably heard of the group. They've been doing a few different things all around the country, but they've also been in Hull doing things. And I'm with them now. A few of them have got up nice and early, and actually they've adorned my van with loads of different pictures from their protests in Hull and in London. And really, that's the thing. We're talking about protesting and really whether it works and why people do it. So I've got Richard Howarth, Leanne Williams and Melissa Shode with me this morning. Richard, now you take sort of direct action. Do you want to just tell us a bit about your background and what you've done protesting in the past?
Yeah, so I think we have to be honest about the situation we're in. The sixth mass extinction is now well underway. We're heading for a future of famine and rising floodwaters. We're looking at several metres of sea level change. Petitions and going on demos, it might be suitable for a supermarket development down the road. It's just not suitable it's just not appropriate when you're facing extinction. I've been involved with a Greenpeace action that closed down Kings North Power Station, and that was effective in that it stopped the next coal-fired power station. But I've got to be honest, my entire adult life, we've failed to stop climate change. Greenhouse gas emissions haven't even reduced. They should be heading towards zero, and they're actually going up. We need system change, and that means large numbers of people on the street. That is the only thing that's going to make the change required.
What would you say because some people might get very, very annoyed when these kind of protests actually affect them or affect their business or affect what they're trying to do in their daily lives, trying to get to work, trying to do their jobs. What would you say to the people that really feel passionately that that's wrong to stop people from doing their daily commute, their daily working life?
Yeah, genuinely sorry for the disruption, but there are no jobs on a dead planet. We're talking about, it seems unimaginable, but we're now looking at the possible extinction of most life on Earth. A change is coming, whether we like it or not, and we have a choice now. We can either make some relatively small changes to our lives and get climate emissions down to greenhouse gas emissions down to zero very quickly, or most of Hull will have to be relocated. Climate refugees in the hundreds of millions. And to quote Professor Kevin Anderson, we know what happens when you have millions of refugees. Men pick up guns and start killing each other. This is the future of our children and future generations, unless we act very quickly.
I can feel your passion. I can really feel your passion, Richard. Leanne Williams, just tell us a bit about your background then in protesting.
I've spent over a decade in campaigning, in environmental organisations. So I've been looking at the problems that are being caused by people not addressing the issues, particularly politicians not addressing the issues that we're facing at the moment. Sea level rise, acidification of the seas, obviously climate change. Yeah.
And why do you think going out on the streets and protesting, in Queen Victoria Square, for example, is the way forward?
We need to raise awareness. We need to do it quickly.
Simple, really. Melissa Shode as well. Tell us a bit about your background.
I have a background in student activism. I was on the student executive at Lancaster Uni, involved in a range of campaigns and fundraising. But I believe this campaign, this movement, is really important. And actually, I say movement, but it's not a movement, it's a rebellion. And it may cause civil disruption, it may cause problems in the streets to everyday lives, but it needs to happen. We need to act now.
What I'm going to say the same question to you that I asked Richard. Obviously, some people find it really frustrating when people protest. What would you say to them?
I would say it's minor in comparison to the chaos that would emerge if we don't make a move now.
And you can hear that passion, James, and I think that's the thing, isn't it? When you're protesting, you feel passionately about what you're talking about, and obviously Extinction Rebellion feel very, very passionately about climate change. We'll hear a little bit more from them a little bit later, and I'll talk you through some of the posters that they've got with us as well.
Thank you, Caroline. These are people putting their heads above the parapet, effectively, which is, I suppose, what protesting is. You put your head above the parapet, you may have to potentially take some unfriendly fire. Is it worth it, though? Does it make a difference? Well, history's littered with examples of where it has been effective. I suppose history's written by the victor, though, isn't it? So you tend to see the effective ones more so. But what would it take to get you out with your banner? And more to the point, do you think that those who do are effective? Are you swayed by what you see? For example, the Extinction Rebellion protests in London there. You know, these guys talking about it in Hull. But has it made a difference? Does it make you think? Does it make you change your behaviour? Or do you think, just, getting in the way of people trying to get to work, for example? 81333.